We are live.
Live from the sugar bush.
We are just about to gather some more sap. They're all frozen in our buckets right now, so...
But the taps are dripping.
Yes.
So that's a good thing. So we're just gonna collect...
We're gonna make a splash.
Yep. So we're going to want this stuff so we can start thawing it out. We have hundreds of liters of sap already back there, so we'll just tour around
Hey,
here.
Long Island.
I'm just gonna go up in there and get that one. Just keep chatting.
This might be a good time to count our buckets because we have no idea how many trees we've tapped. We think it's around 30 something trees. Caddis, do you know? Do you know? I don't think Caddis knows. Not even Caddis knows. It's quite sunny here today. It's beautiful. What temperature do you think it is right now? It's above freezing.
Yep, definitely above freezing. Probably like 3 degrees Celsius, in around there.
Jay and Virginia are watching. They say, hi, Caddis. Hi, Caddis. Caddis. Say hi. Yeah? She says hi back. Okay, so we got 2. Oh. Dunster wants to say hello. You checking out? You checking us out?
Let's start heading back.
Okay, so how many trees did you go to? 1, 2. I guess we won't be hitting them all today. We won't count them today. We're going to head back and show you what we've set up over here to start boiling. For the larger trees, if they are big enough, we will put more taps in them. Most of our trees are one tap trees here. So, but we have had really big trees, like 2 people, 3 people arms around trees that we put in upwards of 4 taps in.
So that's what the buckets are looking like right now. We'll thaw that out and boil it down.
How much more sap do you think you just got? He says it's hard to say. Okay, Caddis, come on.
Out of all of the taps, there's probably another 100 liters out here.
It's just sitting in the buckets?
Yep.
He thinks there's about 100 liters sitting in the buckets. Yeah, we have a bunch of those crappy tire buckets, but they complement our metal stainless steel ones. We also have blue plastic ones and green plastic ones. You can see that one is quite full.
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab that one.
Dave's coming to get that one.
This bucket and start heading up that way.
Okay. You just need Tim Hortons. Yeah, then we'll have everything here. We don't like Tim Hortons. We might be the rare Canadian that doesn't like Tim Hortons. Sometimes we have their chili. Let's start heading back. 20 liters in food grade, yeah. Yeah, we have the small ones that I haven't marked on one of them. I think it's 5 or 6 liters in the tiny ones. And then the big ones hold 20 liters. I also use these crappy tire buckets to brew one of my brewing stages of my beer. I just put a tap on it. It's great that these trees are so close to our house. And it's also great that the warmer weather has compacted the snow, so I'm not falling through it every other step. Much easier. What a beautiful blue that sky is today. Ah, so fresh. So all of our trees are over there. Oh yeah, use it to water your chickens. Give your chickens water with nipples. So now we're coming up to our house and where our boil is happening. And I will switch you around when I get here.
So first thing is first, getting this stuff melted, which we will do on this thing.
We're going to use this propane stove. Ooh.
Which is, this is actually where we do the finishing stage of the syrup, but I don't want to put ice in the evaporator right now.
It'll cool down the boil.
Yeah, we still have a whole bunch of buckets of thawed sap here.
Still have quite a lot of snow. Oh, yeah, and that's the separator. It is a great stove. So Dave will explain to you how he put this thing together.
Yep, in just a couple minutes. I just want to get, no, actually, we're okay. I want to get a little bit of wood in there.
Okay. So as we mentioned in our other live stream that we're using a bunch of softwood that was left at the property and we don't use inside the house because we have lots of hardwood. Dave's gonna get a soaker. There's a puddle. All this ice is melting.
It wouldn't be syrup season if you didn't get a soaker.
Oh, I'll just wear boots.
Well.
So in there he has, let it focus, clay pots that are lifting up metal racks he got at the restore. And that's where he's putting the wood on top. Just allow some air underneath it so it gets a hotter boil. Sarah, the mummy, wants you to get a soaker.
I will, don't worry, Sarah.
And then there's a hole at the bottom there to draw the air in, to draw it underneath to push the heat up. This base, Dave made it out of a filing cabinet.
Yep.
And then what he has a exhaust right here to pull the air up this way.
So yeah, so it's, the firebox is a 5-foot steel filing cabinet. I think it was 4 drawers, something like that. I took all the drawers out and I cut them apart, and the pans are actually sitting in the drawers on top of the filing cabinet. Underneath the pans and underneath those drawers, there's another metal steel plate in there, which is just protecting the bottom of the pans from the flames. So the flames aren't actually licking the bottom of the pans, which could potentially cause your syrup to burn all around the edges of the pan.
Sarah, the mummy, wants to know if it's to code.
We're in an unorganized township, so it's the code here, if that helps. Next year, this thing will be out in the bush closer to the trees. We're going to end up tapping trees in a different spot next year. But there's 4 feet of snow out there, so I had no way to get this out there and get a sugar shack built for it. But the pans here, this pan is just the heating pan. So this is just to get the cold sap up to temperature before transferring it to the next 2 pans so that we're not cooling off these other 2 pans. And all we do to move the sap from this pan into either one of these 2.
It smells so great here.
It does smell like syrup already.
So we just started this about I want to say half an hour before we switched you on.
About that, yep. And we just keep transferring the sap over. Ideally, this pan is the finishing pan. This is where it's hottest, and this is where we'll bring it up to the near up stage. From there, we transfer it into a different stainless steel vessel and finish it off on a propane stove, just so that we can easily get it away from the heat when we need to.
Yeah, because you don't want to let it get too hot, because then you get the, like, streamers. I don't know what to call it. What's it called? It almost turns to sugar inside.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll get the crystallized sugar in the bottom of your jars and your bottles.
My mom can smell the syrup from here.
Yeah?
Hi, Mom.
Well, Mom's got a couple bottles with her name on it, so.
There you go. You can taste it soon.
Yeah, you'll get those in about a month or so. Unless you want to come up and visit, then you get them before then.
Mm-hmm.
You can drink it right out of the pan.
Don't use yellow snow, Dave.
No.
We'll be using snow a little bit later.
Yep.
Try to avoid the yellow stuff.
Why don't you bring that over here for a sec? And
Oh, Dunster joined us.
so when you gather your sap, you are bound to have pieces of bark, sometimes bugs, things like that. So you want to use a filter before you're putting it into your evaporator. And this one, still frozen, a little frozen.
Protein, the bugs.
Yep.
Oh, that's hot, Dunster. I don't think you want to smell that. Oh no! Don't worry, we didn't catch it. And there you go.
And then this is what will go.
This will go in the front pan, the heater pan. I feel like I'm at a buffet. So who's gonna get all you can eat sap? Hello, happy Colorado homestead.
So you can see the debris that gets picked up in there.
Can you?
Maybe. Maybe you can, maybe you can't.
How many liters do we have so far? I think we're at maybe 150 liters
Yeah.
of sap,
More than that.
not including what's in the bucket still on the trees.
Yeah. Just give that a little bit more air.
He has to finally control the air. Caddis, don't.
Okay, so as I was saying, out of that last pan there, we move into this big stainless steel pot. Before going into that pot, I'm not sure if we'll make it to this point in the video. It might be later tonight, but into that pot, we use this filter and we pour the near up through that filter into the big stainless steel pot, and that gets out any further debris that could be in there. A lot of times as the syrup starts to settle, you end up with what's called niter, and it's just like it's natural nutrients that boil out of the syrup as you're going along. So that's one step. And something that we'll have to show later is the actual finishing of the sap. We'll probably do a video of that, not a live. And it gets filtered once more right before it goes into your final storage vessels. Someone's getting antsy for some syrup. Is it sweet?
Yeah.
I hope
Really
it's
hot.
sweet.
It's syrup tea. Maple tea.
Why don't we just sit down over here for a couple minutes and chit chat?
Okay.
Chit chat with whoever is here.
Good.
I think what we need to do. There we go.
Can we still read that?
Well, we have the laptop here,
Okay.
so
Burns the mouth, but worth it? Yeah.
I'll let you take
Sweet.
that for a sec.
Sweet maple, highly recommended. We have a
It's
book.
right there in the chat.
Oh. I think we have that book, Hunchback Wilderness. What's it called? Is it not called Sweet Maple?
Simply Maple.
Oh, it's Simply Maple.
Yeah, which your mum might not have got to see that last night.
She rewatched it after.
Oh, okay.
She wouldn't be our #1 fan if she didn't watch our live stream after.
No,
If she
you're
misses
right.
it. So. How many pans fit? We have just the 3 pans. That's all it can fit there.
And each holds 25 liters.
And each pan holds 25 liters, Dave says. So we can boil down 75 liters at a time. So what does the book Sweet Maple do? Is it more recipes or? Oh, that tastes so good. Yeah, we picked an amazing day for this. So sunny and warm. Not windy. Windy, oh, that would have made it so awful.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have wanted to do it then. But we're pretty sheltered here. You might notice we have really tall trees. So even when it's really windy on the lake, which is just 100 meters that way, we don't really get much of that wind. I can see there's a little bit of a breeze. Our weather station is spinning. Just enough to keep the steam out of the way, the smoke. Hey, CB's here.
Hey, CD.
Yeah, it's great. It's a great setup, and even though Dave wants to move it up there, I think it's great being by the house too, because you can run in and out. But once we have a sugar shack, that will make it, we will have everything laid out. Everything, we won't have to like put everything away and bring it back out again. You're supposed to keep the bear calls on the down low.
I got bear bangers, CB. Don't you worry.
No, that's Sarah the mummy wants to
Oh.
do it. Is he calling the bears?
If we make it bigger.
Yeah. You just hear like dripping everywhere. Everything's melting. Should be interesting. So this is our first year here. This is our first spring. So it should be interesting to see where the water pools, where the water flows. I know we have a lot of ephemeral streams here. So there's a lot of water, since we're on a slope, there's a lot of water that runs down our property because it was a pretty wet fall. So we saw a lot of that.
Mm-hmm. Massive flooding. The highway washed out a couple times and we were stuck up here.
CB Greenhouse likes his maple with a slice of bear meat.
Yes.
How to Sugaring History and a Few Recipes by James M. Lawrence.
I will look into that, Paul.
Yeah.
I'm definitely a little bit of a maple syrup addict, so anything I can get my hands on along the lines of that kind of thing.
So Sarah the Mummy says Kevin.
So, it's made out of the drawers out of the file cabinet that I cut down to size just with an angle grinder so that the pans would fit nicely inside there to keep it kind of airtight, and then around the outside is just stainless.
There is great fishing nearby. There is a river that has a lot of trout and salmon species, 4 kilometers, if that, away. Lake Superior is right there. That has every species you can imagine, as big as you want to imagine it.
Mm-hmm.
And there's lots of little lakes nearby as well.
And Jay, with the file cabinet, I did a number of test burns with it, and one of the reasons for doing that and getting it up really, really hot was to burn all of the paint off of the file cabinet. And then I repainted it with like really, really high temp, like barbecue type paint. Most of the barbecue style paint that you can get a hold of is a max temperature of 500 degrees Celsius. The stuff that I went with is like 1128 degrees Celsius, so it's super, super high. It was actually for car engines.
And you didn't paint the top that's
No.
closest to the SAP.
Yeah.
Someone wants to know if we put butter on our saps to keep it from boiling over.
Well, it is something that you can do. We may have to if it really starts to foam up.
We
But
haven't done that though.
we did that a couple times at the ranch.
Oh,
Yeah.
butter or just oil?
Well, either way, both work the same.
Hot rod heater paint over 1200 degrees. Yeah, it's about the same.
Yeah. I'll grab the can of paint just to So it's this stuff here, which actually it only goes to 1093, but I figure that is plenty hot enough for this thing.
Especially since it's not right at the SAP too. Try cooking bananas with cinnamon and maple syrup.
Interesting. You just bake them? Fry them?
Yeah, do you bake them? Like what is that? Does it turn into a mush? Or that just sounds amazing. Hello, Joy. Thanks for joining us. I'm drinking a Near Up. Nice and hot, fresh out of the tray. Bake green bananas.
Oh. Now, bananas or plantains?
Bananas or plantains?
I could see plantains being good like that too.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a recipe book from my parents. They found it in an antique store, and there's so many recipes in there, so we will not run out of things quickly to try with our maple syrup. And it's great because it shows how to use maple syrup instead of sugar in regular items like pizza dough or pizza sauce. So we want to try to replace most of our sugar that we can with maple syrup, since it's something that we produce here and we won't be reliant on buying the sugar. My grandma Rennie fried bananas that way.
Oh.
Cool. And he says plantains. Either or.
Did Runamuck Farms pop in yet?
I
know,
haven't seen them.
No.
Are you here, Runabuck Farms? Maybe they're busy boiling their own stuff.
They could be. He sent me or like left a comment on an Instagram thing a couple minutes ago saying he was waiting to tune in. Runamuck is out in New Brunswick. Some other fellow maple syrup addicts.
Dave had planned on doing a video on the build, but it was a lot of trial and error, so he ended up not filming a lot of it.
And the camera kept stopping on me. It was really cold out, and it would film like 5 seconds, and then I'd go back to see if it was still filming, and no. So unfortunately, no.
He might be able to put together a small little teaser
Yeah.
for maybe social media or something, but not enough to make a a how-to or a how we do video, so.
No. But I may end up building another one.
Why?
Well, because we have a lot of maple trees.
We do have a lot of maple trees. But we'll see how this fares, because we have a lot of time as well.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like we have to limit boiling to the weekends. Dave is available to be our resident boiler.
All week long.
Mm-hmm.
That is tasty.
Yeah. Do we sell or just personal?
A little bit of both. This year we'll probably actually have a surplus that
Yeah,
we will sell.
We've only had enough to give away to friends and family. We've never sold. But this year we have probably enough, as Dave said.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, we'll probably make like really up to 100 liters of syrup this year.
Well, it really depends on how the
it
weather.
does.
If it just gets really, really hot and doesn't get cold at night anymore, it'll stop.
Mm-hmm.
So.
But then there's the birch.
And then we'll start the birch, but then we'll have to use all different vessels.
Yeah, because everything we have says maple.
We do have one 12-pack left over. I brought it in
Oh yeah,
of just clear glass. We're also thinking about the flip top bottles that we have. We usually use it for alcohol, so for our use, we might use that, the 1 liter. They're not a liter, they're 750 maybe? 750 ml. Yes, we're really looking forward to doing the birch. I personally have never tapped birch, so I'm also looking forward to learning more about the birch and how it tastes different stages, and are there different grades of birch? I don't know, like there is with maple. So Dave is more knowledgeable than me on this one, so this would be a great learning experience for me. Joy says, paint syrup onto parchment paper and dehydrate and use like fruit leather and store in an airtight container for years. That sounds like an amazing idea.
Yep. Looks like doing the bone broth.
Yeah, we do our bone broth similar to that in the dehydrator. We use these little thin trays that are meant for fruit leather. So yeah, we have the trays already for that. I have a feeling it won't last for years, though, not in this household.
No.
But but I'm totally, the busy little house is going to do that too. We're all going to do that. It should be great. Yeah, there's so many ways, but that's a great way to keep it and not in jars.
I'm going to run over and get another bucket of ice sap.
So Paul says that birch trees can bleed to death. So we have to plug the hole.
Yes.
Dave says yes, he knows. But thank you. I didn't know that.
I'll be back in a couple minutes.
Hey, Dave Oaknob is here.
There we go. Tell Dave I'll be back in a second. We can show him the evaporator.
Yeah, Dave is just going to grab more sap. So he'll be back in a second and he can give you more details on his evaporator, his version. You can see it going behind us. We have 3 trays. Yeah, with 4 kids, it definitely wouldn't last for years. I guess it depends on how much you start with, but oh, I'm looking forward to doing that. I really like fruit leather too. Big D. Dave Oaknob is Big D. He's got so many nicknames. He's Dave East, Big D. That's great. Oh, yeah. What a beautiful day. You're still making tweaks on your evaporator. I thought you had done all your syrup already. Or that was just your first boil. You're going to change some things up for your second boil? Okay, busy little house. We do not have 4 kids. I was reading your comment. We do not have 4 kids. We do not have kids. And the animals are not allowed to eat our syrup. It's warm and sunny there too. That's great. I can still see my breath. I don't know if you can. So it's a little chilly, but with that really hot behind me and the sun boiling down on me, no issues. Oh, what a beautiful day. Hey, Leanna's here. Thanks for joining us. Dave's just out getting more sap, so he left me on my own here. The sap is boiling down in the evaporator behind us that Dave built. There's some frozen solid sap heating up on our Camp Chef propane heater so that we're not pouring ice, frozen solid stuff in the evaporator and cooling it down. What is Caddis doing to help? I don't know. She stands guard. Can you see her? Where is she? Yeah, she's over there behind me. Just making sure that no one comes to try to steal our sap. Some people, they don't keep the ice that's in the sap buckets because they think that it's all water, but we don't like to waste anything, so we definitely keep the ice in the buckets and, as I said, melt it down first. Yes, Caddis is the supervisor. She wants to make sure we're doing everything right. Who's nuts? You also? Oh, the people that throw it away. You're right, Dave. They are nuts. You toss them all in the evaporator as well. That's great. Because the theory, I think, is that sugar water freezes at a lower temperature than regular water. So if it's frozen, then it's probably just water. But that really depends on what temperature your nights go down to. So for us, it went down past -10 last night, -10 Celsius. So sugar water freezes at that temperature. So it is definitely sap that is frozen. So there's no sense throwing those away. Dave's back, but he is moving things around now.
Just give me a couple minutes.
How many more buckets did you grab from the trees?
I can't count.
Yeah, Leanna says she read that on a site that sells sapping supplies that it's just water. But as I said, it really depends on the temperature it goes down to.
Yeah, and I do not believe that whatsoever. I've been boiling sap, making syrup since I was a kid. And in my opinion, anyone who throws away their ice is throwing away their syrup.
Yeah, Dave says they're nuts.
And if they want to donate it to me, I will gladly take it.
Dave also says that someone on YouTube tested the ice, boiled only ice, and he got syrup.
Yep.
We were thinking about doing that same experiment. So if it's already out there, but possibly we can do a second test, because you have to do it multiple times. You need repetition.
If you want to be scientific.
If you want to be scientific about it, don't just do it once. It's just anecdotal now with just one YouTube video. The Great Canadian Experiment. Well, the Great Northern Experiment, I guess. Thousands of people boiling sap down every year. Yeah, we could do a small batch on the stove top.
Okay, one other thing I gotta do.
One other thing he has to do.
Suspense.
See? Right beside the house. We can go right in. It's great. What's everybody else doing today after you're done watching our live stream? We have a friend coming over tonight that's going to help us entertain us while we're boiling this down. Can't really leave the house. Well, we definitely can't leave while this is going. Can someone see the sap boiling from space? Possibly. If enough of us are boiling sap. Oh. Cass is coming. Thrifty VG just finished making berry ice cream. Mmm. That sounds amazing. I think we have Elk Crossing ice cream in the freezer right now. It's got like peanut butter cups. But we haven't made ice cream all winter, so.
If you want to bring the camera over, because I got to move a bunch of the sap, then we can show Dave. The saperator.
Saperator. So in terms of the Northern Lights last night, Mom, when we saw it, it was just kind of like hazy, like the nice hazy green. It wasn't the beautiful streaking colors. But yeah, we stayed up pretty late too, but we didn't see anything interesting. We're probably just not close enough to the good range.
No, they were out late last night up here.
No, we didn't stay up late enough.
2:30 in the morning. There's some pictures on the Lake Superior page from a guy who lives in the Sioux.
Yep, there you go. We just weren't hardy enough.
Partying enough?
Hardy or partying. If it was tonight, we would be up late enough, maybe. We'll have all the sap energy.
Okay. Is Dave still here?
Dave, are you still here? Dave here, man?
Dave's not here. We lost him.
Jay is gonna leave now. He's gonna plant pawpaw.
Awesome. Did you get that from Tom? Tom sent you the pawpaws? I'm not sure if we can grow pawpaws here. I'd be interested in trying if we could.
Okay, give us your rundown for Dave. He is here.
So, I'll just take this thing.
Okay, turn it around then.
So that I can see.
Oh, Vanna White.
Yep. So, Dave, filing cabinet. 5-foot 4-drawer filing cabinet. I gutted it. There's the firebox. I gotta get more wood in there. It just peels through the wood. And then I think the trays are the same trays that you are using. They hold about 25 liters or 5 gallons each. In around there. The exhaust, you already saw the exhaust. So this is it in action though. Yeah, I definitely got to get more wood in there. Boil's starting to come down a little bit. That pot that is on there, that has some finished maple syrup in it so that we can make some Maple Taffy with the snow. Just one more for now should be good. So that's it. Oh, and underneath here, the pans are sitting inside the drawers from the cabinet that I just cut to size. Yeah, that would be less fun, Dave, that's for sure.
What is?
He has no snow, so.
Oh.
As you can see, we still have some snow. And like the area that we have cleared here, I mean, this pile of snow all the way everywhere here is still like 3 to 4 feet of snow we've got. Luckily, it's getting packed down now. And it's a little easier to walk on.
Much easier.
Especially where you've already had trails.
You don't get entertained with my squeals when I fall through the snow.
No. Caddis likes the snow though. Oh, and Dave, so here's another little part of things. Just the pre-filter. So with the finishing pan on there, we send it through this pre-filter into that stainless, the big stainless pot, and then we'll finish it up with propane over there. Just so that we can control it. We have a digital thermometer that we put in, get it right up to 219 degrees Fahrenheit. And then we're golden.
Literally.
Yeah. Stick this back in here. Is that pointed in the right place? I can't really see.
Yep. We love the setup too. It's great. It's great that everything can be like right here too.
Yeah. Nice and close.
Uh-huh.
How's the battery doing on that thing?
I don't know. Does it say?
Nope. I'm gonna plug it in.
Nice
anyways.
and hidden. Yeah, turkey fryer burners are perfect for finishing up outside because a lot of moisture inside. If you try to do it inside, your walls start to stick and drip. What is the dog's breed? We're not exactly sure. We got her as a rescue-ish type of situation. We think she has collie, some sort of maybe Australian Shepherd. Dave thinks coyote. Some people have mentioned possibly husky. It's really hard to tell. But awesomeness, I guess. So
They're asking about you, Caddis.
she came originally, we heard, from a Mennonite farm. So that's why we're thinking like collie and like a herding Australian Shepherd, and also because of her size, because she's a medium-sized dog. She's not really that big. But her tail curls, that's why some people think husky.
Yeah, John, that's about the same thing we do. I'll grab a couple of examples of what we pack it into once it's done.
What are we? You left me without the computer. I can grab it. Yeah, so you need when you put it in the jars, the syrup has to be hot or else the jars won't seal and you'll get mold and it'll go bad. Marion, I'll have to ask Dave when he comes out. Yeah, Dave from Dave East Oak Knob had sticky ceilings.
Sticky peelings?
Ceilings. Marion Moresby wants to know, what would be your time frame from moving first tray to the other, and how long would you leave it before going to filter?
Well, the first tray, you're constantly just moving it to the next two trays. Just as those two boil down, you just keep refilling those two. And the final, once it's all moved into the final tray back there, just once you can fit it into your finishing pot like this kind of thing. Once you can fit it in there, just go ahead and pop it in there and finish her up. And that's where you want to have your thermometer going. You can do it by eye. I've done it by eye before. You got to kind of have a little experience to understand what the bubbles should look like. I can't really explain what the bubbles should look like when it's reached the proper temperature. But these are the various containers that we pack into.
So that one's a nice maple branded Canadian
Yeah,
syrup.
pure Canadian maple syrup. That's a 1/2 liter. This is a 1/4 liter. And this is also a 1/4 liter. So the nice thing about these clear jars is we can put our own logo on them.
And that one we'll probably use for the birch as well.
The option for putting your information on the tin is this little spot down here. And then with these, you typically just put a sticker right here. If you're selling your maple syrup in a commercial aspect, we don't need to worry about this necessarily, but if we wanted to sell this in stores or anything like that, you do have to have a gold sticker with your name or your farm name and your address and all of your contact information on there.
David Oaknup's going to try a hydrometer this year.
Yeah, actually, we could have pulled that out.
We have a hydrometer.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Ashley's going to be boiling tomorrow.
Nice.
Busy little house, loves the sound of the wood.
Mm-hmm. How much sap are you up to, Ashley? You've been collecting, I think, a little bit longer than us.
And David Oaknub wants to know what a quarter liter is.
A quarter liter is...
Is it a pint?
It's a cup. 1 cup.
It would, yeah, it's smaller than a pint.
250. No, it's a pint.
It is a pint?
Yeah, it's half pint. Sorry, it's a half pint. No, it's a pint.
Ugh.
A quart is a quarter of a gallon. Yes. It's a half pint.
1 pint is 475 milliliters.
Okay, so yeah,
So
it's
it's a half
about a half pint.
2 cups to a pint. So it's a half pint. We don't bother ourselves with crazy measurements like that. Oh. Sorry, did you explain the timing between the filter and the...
I did.
Okay.
Yep.
I guess I was reading.
I did.
It's kooky fun, eh? Imperial? Do you need to have like a king around so you can measure his foot each time so you know how long something is? Ashley has only about 80 liters right now.
Oh, that's not too bad though.
That's pretty good for 5 trees. She says she's only small scale, only has 5 trees. You just finished your last jar. Wow, that's great timing. We tend to finish way too early, so this year we're going to stock a lot more, and we are going to try that maple leather idea. That sounds amazing.
Yes.
We are definitely going to have to watch these comments back for all these suggestions after this is done. And a pint is a pound the world around. I have not heard that. It's learning hour at
It is, yeah.
Domblot Homestead in the woods.
We are learning about international things.
Yes. So a gallon is about 8 pounds? Depends what it's a gallon of, Dave.
The one thing with burning all this softwood, you go through a lot of wood. But it's all just, we gotta burn this stuff anyways, so.
Yes. Some people you talk to, they say it's not worthwhile doing SAP because, like stirring syrup, because you have to pay for the propane or you have to pay for the wood. It's not really our case, so it makes it a lot more economical. And once this evaporator is built, we won't have to pay for that again. Well, unless he wants to build a second one. But it wasn't that expensive either. We got the filing cabinet at the Restore, the Habitat for Humanity Restore. And the other parts he gathered at various places. But are you willing to say how much you think it cost you to build that?
All in with the trays were about...
You should come closer.
The trays were about $45 each, so that was the big cost. I want to say, okay, so the trays were 140 with tax, or 160. Let's say $250, in around there, somewhere in around there.
250 bucks.
Yeah.
You burned a half a face cord of hemlock last weekend. Oh, when you were doing your boil.
We'll be through, we'll be through close to a cord by the time this run is done, I think.
We'll be through a cord?
I
Yeah.
think by the time this run is done, yeah.
Just for this run, we'll have a cord done. Yeah, so that's an investment though, so that won't cost us every year to do that, hopefully. And
I don't know if we're gonna have the right kind of snow to make the,
no, we don't have like the powdery
Yeah.
snow. You need fresh snow for that.
I will still try it. I'll go out there and get some snow and just turn it into
Powdery snow?
powdery snow. It might, you know. It might
Watch
be
out
okay.
for the yellow snow.
Yeah.
Same deal here. We don't want to burn the stuff out here that we would use inside. So we're keeping to the softwood. I think it's a mixture of pine, possibly some hemlock. I think it's mainly pine. Lots of softwood. Think $250 sounds reasonable? I think so too. The trays are the most expensive part. We could possibly get the trays online for cheaper. We only have one restaurant supply store nearby. But it was kind of one of those things we wanted to feel and touch before we bought. Because you don't want flimsy, I think they're called chafing dishes. You don't want flimsy ones. So maybe going forward, we could order some online and just be ready to send them back if they're not the right thickness. So you are at about a quarter the price of what Leanna's dad paid for his. Yeah, he bought one for $1,000
Yeah.
on sale.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
They're not cheap. No. Dave's been dreaming about building an evaporator for quite a while. There was this really cool stainless steel, I'm not even sure what you would call it, at his grandpa's house in his scrap pile, but we weren't able to move it.
No, it's not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen? Sorry guys, the Maple Taffy won't happen, but maybe we can use this stuff to, well, looks like Caddis has honed in on it though.
Yep, she can have it.
We are going to try the dehydrated stuff though. The leather, that'd be good.
Tomorrow it's supposed to snow, so we could.
Oh, they make pans to your spec. Okay, I was thinking plans. But plans would be good too if they made you plans.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a place in Vermont that makes pans to what you need.
Yep, there's a company like that in Canada called CDL in Southern Ontario.
That would be torture to watch, yes. If we did the dehydrator, leather in front of you. Okay, guys, only 8 more hours.
Yep.
There'll be some leather. Oh, or it would be torture to watch us making and eating the taffy without you. That would be torture as well for you. $300 to $500 per pan? Are you serious?
Oh, those are the giant pans.
Oh, like if you only need one pan for the whole evaporator. Oh, okay. Yeah, there was also a higher level of pan than this that was twice the price, that had more like bracing, like more sturdier. But the guy there said that this is what everybody else buys and this is sufficient, and it is very thick. Like there's no way we're messing that pan up. The 3-channel pan, you know what I mean? Question mark.
Yep, absolutely. It basically it transfers the sap as it cooks.
It's kind of like the all edges brownie pan. Have you guys seen those? The brownie pan is like, it's kind of like
that.
it's kind of like that. Auto leveling, auto separating. That is fancy. I think we'll go low key here.
For now.
Oh, for now. I just heard it for now.
For now.
We'll save up your maple money then.
The our closest neighbors on the south side here they have a 50,000 tap operation. 50,000 taps.
And they're doing it on Crown land too, so they're.
No, it's.
Oh, they bought it?
Well, it's leased.
They're leasing Crown land.
Yeah. So yeah.
So they just put the road. It's brand new. They just put the road in this year, which is great because they maintained. There's a road that was there before, like a logging road, and then they put a new road in. But the logging road they've been maintaining and they've been plowing. So it's great because you can get in there to go fishing and access more of the back country.
Up at the back lakes. We should turn this a little bit so that... Oh, maybe you can see all the steam coming off there. Never mind. Don't pay attention to me.
Caddis is waiting so we can tell her to go.
Go.
Go!
Go. It's yours.
She doesn't believe us.
Go. Okay, don't then. It's all up to you.
Well, then you should do the SAP for them, Elena. Busy Little House has worked with those before on an organic syrup farm. Is there any non-organic syrup? You've worked at an organic syrup farm. Is there something that they do different?
The processing method. It's nothing about the trees or anything, but the steps to turn it into syrup. So all of your cleaning supplies
Yes.
have to be
Organic certified?
organic certified. You have to go through a 2-step rinsing phase. So, like with your equipment, it has to be rinsed twice. You got to log everything, all that stuff. I used to run an organic coffee roastery. Who was that?
That was...
The Busy?
I can't just use my finger on this. The Busy Little House.
Yeah. So I'm not sure where you are, but if you're in Canada, maybe you've heard of Planet Bean Coffee. Maybe not. But
Demetra, this is our first day boiling. Yes, we're doing a live stream. We're showing off our evaporator that Dave built. And gathering the sap. We were hoping to do a taffy pull thing, but that we don't have the right snow. Yeah.
Oh yes, you did say Quebec at the very beginning of the stream. The first coffee roaster that we ever bought was actually from Quebec. Somewhere in the eastern townships. I can't remember exactly where we picked it up, but it was picked up during the ice storm of 1997. It was pretty interesting. Little pro-back coffee roaster. Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's because I had to take care of all the organic stuff for Planet Bean. When everything from going down and visiting the coffee farms and making sure they were staying true and doing their paperwork and all that, right up to all the equipment in the roastery, the packaging, all the equipment in the cafes. Quite the annoying process, to be honest. Took up the majority of my time when I would rather have been roasting coffee and not doing paperwork.
She does not know the name.
No, that's okay. It's out of Guelph, Ontario. I'm not there anymore.
Nope. Nope. To move, you followed me around. So.
Yep. We're just north of Peterborough and don't have too much sap yet. We're only tapping 5 trees though. Cool.
Great.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Start small. Don't boil it down inside, or else you'll get sticky house. Try getting it down outside. On the barbecue, on a turkey fryer, anything like that. Or you might already know, so just tell me to stop. 5 trees. Some of the couple places that we've lived, we've only had 5 trees. We had some really big trees though, so we were able to put more taps in those trees. But here we are so lucky. I would say we have, I wouldn't even know, 500?
Oh man.
I don't even know.
Maybe 500 per acre.
Yeah, we have so many trees. Yes, you guys had a crazy ice storm in Quebec. She says 98.
98? Okay. Yeah, 98 then.
It is a pain. There is a lot of costs associated with it. You do get the reward of being able to charge a premium for it. So as you said, there's lots of benefits and there's also setbacks of it. A lot more paperwork. But yeah. Stoking the fire.
Uh-huh.
It's kind of an active process. You have to keep on keeping the fire going. This wood burns up very quickly.
But it burns hot.
Very hot, which is great for boiling fast. So sunny, I'm gonna get a suntan. My hair also turns blonde in the summer. Well, I get streaks of blonde in the summer. Sorry, Paul. I'm so sorry. You can come down here and get your fill of maple.
Yeah, actually, Paul, we're up in Nipigon like a couple times a year at least. We head up that way to fish like the Nipigon River and all up through there. So
We'll be there probably the first week of summer. Yeah, streaks of blonde. Weird that happens.
the blonde thing.
Yeah, Deanna's saying she gets it too. Yeah. You should put sunscreen on. You don't think about it in the winter. But with the reflection off the snow and everything, you actually get, I think, higher UV rays. You get blonde too? I think that's all of us then. Did you guys used to put, what was it called, sun-in your hair when you were younger? Or lemon? I used to do that. That's sun-in stuff. He's near Cap. He's near Cap.
Okay, we'll look into that.
Like Kapuskasing? Kapuskasing?
Yeah, so he's in a different direction, but not
Yeah.
to say we don't go up that way fishing too. So.
Yeah. I don't have much gray yet. Dave says I do. But I think I have like a few strands on the top.
This is that blonde thing she was talking about. It's not actually blonde.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get streaks of gray in the summer.
Yes. Yeah.
But my grandpa, my mom's side, he had brown hair. I don't even know, like till the end. So I have a feeling that I might get some lucky genes there.
Okay, I'm gonna go back out and get more.
Oh, do you want to take us? I think they're sick and tired
Yeah,
of
why
just
don't we go
watching
for a
me.
walk?
Let's go for a walk. My butt is hurting from sitting so much.
Plugged in like that. Let's quick little walk.
You're 50 and no grays. That's awesome. I think I'm gonna let it just go when it happens to me. I've been thinking about it lately. Going for a walk. I'll turn you around. Got the sneezes, Caddis. You're letting it go? It's a good idea. So many chemicals in those hair dyes. So nice. I was actually getting a little bit too hot by that evaporator. Feels good to step away for a bit. That feels refreshing. Fresh air. It is nice to smell it, but there's a lot of heat, a lot of smoke. Whew. Just got hit in the tree. Hit in the tree. Got hit in the face by a tree.
That one way down there has already got another inch or two in it.
Oh, wow. We just emptied that one. It was quite full. Probably gets more sun. So Dave was mentioning before that we're going to do birch after. And as you can see, so there's a maple tree that's tapped right there. Boom. There is a massive birch right there. So it won't be so hard when we're done tapping the maples to just move over. Yeah, the snow has settled a lot. It's a lot nicer. Dunster's coming to help. Hey there. So this is our cat that adopted us. When we were living in Manitoba, this cat showed up and she never really would let us touch her or pet her, and she'd run away, but she wanted to hang out with us. And then she disappeared for a bit and brought back kittens. So we were able to get her fixed. She did not like that, and gave her kittens away. She only had 2. And we brought her with us to Ontario. And she lets us pet her now. We can't pick her up, but yeah. And her name is Dun. and her nickname is Dunster. So we like to gather strays. I don't think there'll be too many stray cats around here. There's not a lot of farms, or there's not a lot of people either, so. Oh, I hear a bird. Do you guys hear that? I love this time of year when the birds start coming back. The only birds I've seen for months have been bald eagles and crows and woodpeckers. Woo! We're gonna see some salamander orgies soon. Let's check this out. Yes, so if you live in a wooded property with lots of rocks and good salamander habitat, look for these melting pools, these pools of water. That's where the salamanders will mate in the spring, and they'll just come en masse all together. Just be careful, don't disturb them, don't walk in the areas that they are doing it. You want to allow them to get their business done. Keep the salamander population going. But yeah, it's great to see that we have some sitting water on the property. Well, it's good for that purpose. It's called herping, the busy little house. Caddis, come on. Woo! Feels. Woo, caddis. So have you been counting, Dave?
No.
Oh. I think there's a panther following us. Yeah, too busy to count. How's the fire? It's pretty hot, Mom. It's crazy. We probably have already, what do you think? We've reduced everything that we had originally down to maybe one pan now?
No.
2 pans?
3.
We still have it in the 3 pans? What we originally had?
3 pans and 2 buckets of ice to go. Soon to be 3 buckets of ice to go.
Okay.
There's still all 3 pans boiling.
Yeah. I mean, like from our original SAP that we had, it is probably...
Oh, it's down to 3 pans. Well, 3 pans plus almost 3 buckets.
Okay.
Listen to this.
Yeah, we're just gathering another round. Dave's been out here, what, 2 times without me already? And then I decided to go with him this time because I was getting too hot by the fire and people were getting bored of just looking at me. So a lot of the trees, when we moved in, we saw these blue flagging tape on them. And then there was orange on some and red on some. And now that we're looking closer, we can see that these are all trees that have been tapped before. Yeah, Dave found some forgotten taps. Score! Oh. Dunster thinks it's a play toy, the flagging tape. Our other cat, Minnow, she only has 3 legs, so she's an indoor cat. I don't feel like it is a smart idea. I really don't feel it's a smart idea letting Dunster out either in terms of her safety, but she's kind of a wild beast. She doesn't let us dictate where she goes. But with all these wild animals and predators here, it'd be like sending her out to slaughter. So she doesn't like it, but she's an indoor cat. Minnow, the three-legged cat. So many buckets. Oh, you can hear that one too. It's a chorus. We have the ladder out to the roof because we need to clean out the chimney. The stove we have in our house is way too big for our house, so we don't really burn wood at the best capacity in it, and so it fills up quicker than we like with creosote, so we have to clean out the chimney a couple times, maybe once a month. Oh, I know, she does some daring feats. She can jump up on our fridge. It's pretty crazy, but I don't know. She has climbed up a tree before, then got stuck and just started meowing at me. So. I have a leash for her, and I take her outside on the leash, and so she gets some outdoor time. She really doesn't like. She doesn't really like the leash. So we're back to the SAP boiling location. Dave's separating the ice from the melted, or the SAP that's not frozen. Filtering out the gunk. Not too many flies yet. We've seen some flies around the house, like outside the house. One or two in the house. They don't last long with the cats though. They're not really smart this time of year, the flies. Spiders. We've seen a few spiders coming out. So there must be flies. They're spiders. The Asian ladies have showed up already. We haven't seen them here. We had them so bad. The Asian beetles. Oh, in Manitoba. In Manitoba, they were like, I don't know, they would fill up the corners of our houses.
Nothing here though. They weren't last year.
Yeah, we haven't seen any here yet. We had a bunch of tree caterpillars though. Tent caterpillars. Why do I call them tree caterpillars? They did eat the trees. You can kind of see on the house, we have to... Oh, I'm gonna fall through here. I don't know if you can see on the house or not, but there's so many of those. Yeah, you probably can't see. They're just lining our house. There's a Lake Inferior. We ended up not being able to use it as much as we had hoped this winter because we had so much snow. We weren't able to keep up with keeping the snow off of it. But I drilled a hole in it, a couple holes in it the other day with the auger, and we did have in the deepest area about a foot of unfrozen water under there. So that makes me think that we'll be able to draw water out of there year round for animals, and or possibly keep some minnows, some bait. Yeah, they really destroyed the trees. They defoliated a whole whack load of trees here this year. It was one of those really big years for them. So right over there is Lake Superior. I don't think you can see it, but you can see it through the trees in person. The Littlest Hobo, yeah. Caddis loves that show. They're calling you the Littlest Hobo. Yeah, that would be Lake Superior there. And there's our septic out front of the house. So can't grow anything there. I was thinking of possibly growing flowers to sell as cut flowers there though, because we don't eat those, so. And then if we need to get in there, we can just take it up still. It's a possibility. Or lavender. Woo! Yeah, fell through again. Solar panels are doing well today. And then our outhouse, we can almost get to our outhouse now. We did not keep up on that. That's something we learned from our off-grid experiment that we really should have, yeah, wildflowers is another idea. Right now it's grass, and I hate grass, so it's definitely going to change. Oh, smoke in the eye. Look at all that steam, it's boiling. Look at that. You can see the difference in the color already. So this one's got the new syrup in it, the new sap in it. And then the boiled down. I'm missing all these comments. They're going up so quickly and disappearing. Can you see some interesting comments there, Dave? Okay. Are you Lilo's hobo, Caddis? Yeah? Tired? So we have 14 people watching and 14 thumbs up. You guys are amazing. This is so much fun. Oh, it's great being outside. Yeah, no eye contact. Whew. Minna was very talkative. I mean, Dunster is very talkative too. She just meows at us all the time. Oh, you can hear the water just pouring, melting off our roof. We can't find our axe. It's underneath a whole bunch of snow. That was another silly thing that we did. So Dave's been chopping all this wood with this little hatchet. What are our plans with all the stones? Oh, the previous owner just piled stones all around the house. They piled stones everywhere. Boulders, stones. He also, I think he was a rock collector. We found lots of green rocks, which I think have copper in them. Yeah, so you can see. Whew, what are you doing?
Seeing what you're looking at.
What? We're showing them the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's our outhouse. There's too much snow there. You think it's jade? I don't know. Possibly. So there's a green one. There's a green one. There's a green one. There's a lot of copper mines over here. So that's what makes me think it might be copper. So we've been on here for 80 minutes now. 80 minutes. Woo! Watch out. Do you want to sit down again for a bit, or?
Well, take a break for a couple minutes.
Has it been that long? I know. Thanks for sticking by. We're slanted.
Oh, I better grab that.
Oh, the sun is full force again. don't know if it's gone away. Just where you were looking.
We do have cell service, yes, Dimitra?
Yes, this is all in our cell data. Our Wi-Fi definitely wouldn't go that far out in the bush. I think our cell's better than our
Hey, Andrew.
Wi-Fi in the end, but it'd be too much to use that for all of our live streams.
Yep, Andrew, where's the little cup? Why don't you grab a little cup of Near Up for Andrew?
Do you want a little cup of Nira?
We've been, it's part of the quality control, Andrew, is we have to taste it as we go along. I'm looking down here because I have the laptop out here to make it easier to see the comments. Did you get to see the evaporator that I built yet, Andrew? If not, I can let you check that out. It's pretty neat. There's the, cheers, Andrew. Little cup of Near Up for you there. And Dave, something that I forgot to mention about that is I did end up putting a heat shield underneath those pans, like we were talking about.
Would that also prevent like creosote and stuff like that?
No.
No?
I mean, it still leaks of smoke up there,
Okay.
so. I'm going to show Andrew the evaporator really quick.
Okay.
He's in doing an emergency repair at work.
Ooh.
So. Here's this thing, Andrew. So the firebox is an old filing cabinet that I picked up at the Habitat for Humanity restore. I'll open this up. So whoop, the actual firebox is massive. So it lets us get things up really, really hot. And then these are steam trays, stainless steel steam trays. These were the most expensive part of the build. So it's a pretty simple unit, really. And then in here I've got clay pots just to raise the racks up off the bottom so that we have airflow to keep things burning. And then when this is closed, we got a little gap down at the bottom just to fresh air for the fire. That's the saperator.
They want to know how we have such good service.
Uh,
We're close to a tower.
Yeah, we're really close to a tower here. It's only 3G service though. I'm impressed that it actually works for doing live streams. Because this is the second one we've done now outside.
Yeah, we also tap the trees with you guys. So. Oh yeah, that's delicious now. Okay. I got a little splash of that puddle when you dropped that log
Oh.
on my back. It was a very interesting feeling. Where my lower back tattoo would be if I had one. Right there.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty. It was an interesting feeling.
Well, hopefully you got to see that. Yep, looks like you did.
Andrew?
Yep, recycle and reuse. Definitely works, Andrew. We're just flying through our sap today. I'm very impressed. There's a slight gap, Dave, maybe a ½ inch, slight gap between the pans and the heat shield. I did run it without the heat shield once and scorched the sides of the pans. So that's why I put that in there.
And when your test water runs,
Yep, when I was boiling water.
a couple crows just flew by.
Yep, try not to fall asleep, Amanda. Paul's getting worried that you're going to fall asleep.
This heat behind me might put me to sleep.
It's like water, Andrew.
We had a lot of crows here the other day. We were thinking maybe we had an owl on the property.
I should show Andrew how the process that you go through.
Yeah, sap, when you come to the tree, is really not at all different from water.
Yeah. This is the way the actual boiling process works, Andrew. So, got this little pot here. The first pan is just where we warm the sap up. Scoop it out. Move it over to the next two pans. I don't want to put too much more into these other two pans right now. But that, and you just keep doing that. You pour all of your fresh sap into the first pan here. It's hotter at the back of the evaporator. This just warms it up nicely. You can see it's boiling back here. I got to get some more wood in there because it's not quite up to a good roaring boil that we want to see. And you just spend the whole day doing that. It's usually handy to have a beer or two by your side, just so you don't get too bored. And I think the beer will come out very soon, actually.
The busy little house wants to know how crows would be a sign of an owl.
They hate them.
They hate each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if crows see an owl, I don't even know if they like just call their friends over or something, and they just start really, really yelling and making a lot of noise, and
they'll attack them and kill them.
Basically attacking, and they can kill an owl when they gang up enough of them. It's pretty. They just are arch enemies. I don't know. It also could mean that there was something dead.
Yep, it could mean that too.
So it's not a sure tell sign. There's a lot of crows around the dump, which is pretty far from us, but I think that they like to stay maybe 20 kilometers away from the dump for a source of food in the winter. The busy little house says, I've taken pics of eagles and crows sharing trees the other week, so they're buddies.
Yep, they are buddies.
Yeah, they don't mind each other at all. I think they might even cooperate with each other. Birds are so smart. There's a lot of bald eagles here, and they stayed all winter long. I wasn't too sure they would.
Yeah, as long as there's a little bit of open water that they can...
Kind of like Canada geese. As long as there's some open water, a lot of them will not migrate south. So yeah, we have lots of bald eagles.
I saw my first seagull the other day, so they're coming back.
Right, I saw some too. Well, where I work, I look out onto the river, so I see a lot of eagles there. They actually, when the river freezes over almost solid and there's just little spots of open water, the eagles like that because they will attack the ducks. So the ducks have to come up for air, and they'll know exactly where they're coming up, so they'll all just sit and wait, and just, it's not good for the ducks. Not good for those ducks.
Andrew still there?
Andrew, you still here? Probably not.
Yeah, if it's an emergency.
He's at work, yeah. Oh, he is.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he's gonna take you away.
Yep. I'll show you a couple other little aspects of the process of making maple syrup. So when you get your sap, unfortunately I just poured this in here to filter it. You get your sap. First thing you want to do is just send it through a funnel with a filter. Some people use old t-shirts or whatever to filter it out. Send it through there. You got clean sap, because you're always going to end up with little pieces of bark and bugs and just whatever.
Rennemuck Farm's here.
Awesome.
Our shed's boiling too today.
So then that goes into the first pan there. And as I showed you, it just moves from pan to pan. I did not show you this thing though. So this thing here, once that has become near up in the back two pans, it gets transferred and finished off on the propane cooker over there in that big stainless steel pot. Before it goes into that pot, it gets sent through this pre-filter that we've got just anchored on a tripod here. Stick the pot underneath, pour the pan through the filter into the big pot, and that's when you take it down to finishing temperature, which is around 219 degrees Fahrenheit is the temperature you want to reach for a good syrup.
Ricky's battery's dying, so we're heading out.
Okay. And run amok.
Yeah.
Here's the evaporator.
Yeah, near up is nearly syrup.
Yep, nearly syrup.
Doug, Dave explained. There you go.
Here is our evaporator so that you get a good look at it. The firebox, the base of it, is built out of an old file cabinet. The trays on top are stainless steel steam trays, chafing trays, however you might want to term them, the kind of thing you get at a restaurant supply store. Nice big firebox in there that needs some wood. I got to get more wood in there. And the trays are sitting inside of the old drawers from the filing cabinet, and then just some odds and ends of bits and pieces of steel that I cut to shape. There's the flue, just a 5-inch flue. Comes out the top of the back of the filing cabinet. And man, does it ever smell good right now. Andrew, we don't really keep any of the near-up, although I do consume a lot of near-up during the process of making the syrup. That's for sure. And Amanda has fallen into the snow.
I'm looking for the axe.
I don't think you're going to find it.
Is it not over here?
It's 5 feet under the snow over there, yeah.
Well, I could be lucky. I could fall into it.
Yeah, it could happen.
Unlucky.
Oh. Yep, near up in a pinch of rum, Dave. It's always good with whiskey too, actually. Good Canadian whiskey.
Oh, tell him what Brother Doom does.
Yeah, Brother Dune, one of our subscribers, and he lives down the road from us here. He makes coffee out of sap. So basically, instead of using water, he puts the sap into his coffee maker, which we're going to be trying very soon. He's got a video of it. Let me see if...
Toss a link up.
I can barely see this thing as it is. I can't
Yeah,
even
the
see where
sun
my
really makes
pointer
it
is.
hard. No luck. No dice.
I make homemade maple whiskey. That you got to do it at extremely cold temperatures. I'm hoping that we get a couple more really cold nights once I have syrup made so that I can make it. And it's basically just mixing whiskey with maple syrup, but you have to do it like at around minus 20 Celsius, and you have to mix it. What would it be like making cream or butter or something almost? Like you have to constantly keep it mixing at a very cold temperature to get the two ingredients to come together. It's deadly though.
Cat has found the
Oh,
maple syrup.
yeah.
They poured some maple syrup in their snow as a test run to see if we could make the taffy, but the snow is not right. But Caddis has just found the test, and she's just lying in the snow.
I will keep being like a mad scientist, certainly. If we ever are driving by your place in Quebec, I'll see if we can pop by with a little snifter, a little Mickey of whiskey, maple whiskey.
We are going to New Brunswick this summer for Dave's family reunion.
Yep. Northern New
August.
Brunswick.
Hopefully we'll see Oak Knob Dave while we're down there.
Gonna try and make that happen. That'll be fun. Maybe do some Herkimer diamond mining. That'd be fun.
Diamonds.
I gotta get that plug back in.
You need to put more wood in too.
Yes, I do.
Our phone's dying as well, so we're charging it with the laptop, and then charging the laptop with a extension cord. Now that we have power, we can do these amazing things.
Well, of course, the sun is shining.
I know, we probably be fine. I just want to show you just how much Caddis is going to town right now. What'd you find, Caddis? Make sure you get every drop, Caddis. You don't want to waste that. Maple snow cone, yeah. Nothing better.
She's been eating all the icicles that fall, or that are on the, that fall off the taps out there in the mornings when it's frozen.
She's eating the sapsicles.
Sapsicles.
We're getting some comments here. Where's the...
Yeah, probably opened
Oh.
iTunes, just...
Busy little house feels the same way. No, she will not share with us. That's she's still going to town on it. She does have a sweet tooth. My goodness. If you have donuts here, she'll just sit at you at your feet and wait for like something to drop, or like, you know how the sugar crust on the donut, sometimes when you bite into that, little flecks come off. She knows that and she waits for that. Hi Diana. Yeah, everybody's having these low computer issues. It's one of those days. Glad to see you here. Oh, Jim's here. Good afternoon. Hi Jim. So we've gone on a few trips collecting sap from the trees. Dave's shown people a couple times the whole run-amok. The whole, how he made his evaporator, the different steps that we take. We're not lucky enough to make taffy today, like just pouring it on the snow, because we don't have any of the powdery fresh snow, so it won't work. But we were hoping to do that. You were napping? That is a great idea. I could take a nap out here. Paul was afraid I was going to take a nap a little earlier. So nice. Midday naps. I don't know though. The only thing about those, I often find I feel more tired when I'm done. I have to plug the phone back in. Yeah, or you can't sleep later. Yeah, wake up sunburnt. That is a possibility. I'm definitely getting a lot of sun today. I had a friend in my youth that didn't believe me that there was a difference between suntan oil and sunscreen, and just lathered herself up with suntan oil and fell asleep on the beach. Not a good day the next day. She was as red as a lobster, couldn't move. It was pretty bad. Where I had sunscreen on, and I was fine. I also fell asleep, but I was fine. That would do it, Jim. Wake up at 5. I think I woke up at 5 too, but I went back to sleep and had some crazy dreams, like crazy dreams. I can't remember them now. I think I was dreaming about, I was on one of those TV shows where you have like Master Chef, where they give you ingredients and you have to come up with a winning recipe. And mine was, you had to make something that was wrapped in bacon. So I think my final recipe before I woke up was I was going to wrap cauliflower in bacon and then bake it. To be honest, that does sound a little bit delicious, so I might try it.
Bacon wrapped maple syrup would be good.
Bacon wrapped maple syrup? Can you even... You can't wrap maple syrup.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Where there's a will, there's a way. Ugh. You gotta hate it when the baby won't sleep and has a fever. That really changes your night. Maple infused bacon, that is a thing. That would be good. But I guess if you could make maple sugar cubes, you could wrap those in bacon.
Non-stop logs, Jim. I know this is probably hurting you, but I have to burn it, okay? It's for a good cause.
Paul says he could wrap a boot in bacon and it would still be good. That is true.
And fill the boot with maple syrup.
And fill the
Now we're on to
boot
something.
with maple syrup, yeah. Oh, I don't know, it might be a little tough. But we're on to something here. Bacon on the charcoal grill is divine. Syrup bacon leather. There you go. So pour it on the dehydrator tray and then lay the bacon inside of it and then dehydrate it and then cut it into strips. I think that probably would have won the competition. Hard or chewy? Oh, do we make maple candies and hard or chewy? So I have never personally made maple candies, but we went to the secondhand store and found a whole bunch of candy molds, and some of them are shaped like maple leaves. So we are definitely going to make some maple candies this year. I prefer chewy, like more like toffee, but the hard sugar candies, I think Dave likes those.
I like the fudge, maple fudge.
Oh, you like the fudge?
Yeah.
I thought you would like the hard sugar candies because they're a lot like rockets.
No, they're, I'm not a terribly big fan of hard candies.
Okay, so we're going soft. We're going fudge and chewy, I think. Jim, I think you're in the wrong chat room.
That comes later, Jim.
We don't want to attract the bears.
Yeah.
Where did you see that there might be some bears waking up? You saw some chatter?
Yeah, chatter down about 10 kilometers south of us. There's been a couple bears spotted already down there.
Waking up.
So it won't be long.
No. Ginger chews all winter.
Nice. Oh, Cheryl's here. Has she been
Hi,
here for a while?
Cheryl. No. I don't think so.
It
The
is
first
a
comment
very
I've seen.
nice day
It
up
is
here.
so nice up here. My eyes are actually watering right now.
Yeah, mine too. I think it's from the smoke.
The smoke and the sun. Oh, the sun. We have gone out on, I think, 3 runs now collecting sap, and we've been boiling down constantly, tasting the near up just to make sure it's, you know, going okay. It's very quality control with many stages of quality control here.
Yes, yes. You do have to pay attention.
Brown sugar panucci, the same thing.
We're okay for bears for now, Paul. They seem to follow us everywhere. I don't know if you saw that way back in our list of videos when we were in Manitoba. Maybe right around now, last year actually, we got video of a mother bear and her 4 cubs pretty much right on our property in Manitoba. We actually got to film them coming out of their den for the first time.
Yeah, they were so cute.
Yeah.
Rolling around and...
Still blind probably.
Oh, I don't think so.
I don't know the way that they were but anyways.
Yeah, they were playing with sticks, and one of them was trying to swat her mom and fell over. They were so cute. And then the mom looked so tired. She looked so tired.
Yeah.
She was like walking around, like come back to your brothers and sisters, and oh, it was so funny to see. But the only it was an okay video, but they were far away because you don't want to go close. So we had to use the stabilizer thing on the, because I was just holding my cell phone.
No, it was the telescopic camera.
Oh, I was just
The
using the
big lens.
telescopic camera, but I didn't have it on a tripod because we didn't expect to see the bears. And we went back to get the good camera, forgot to get the tripod, so we weren't going to go back again to make sure we didn't miss them. So, but very cool. We actually got contacted by the local newspaper there to use our footage.
Yeah. But they wanted to re-download it off YouTube and upload it to their YouTube, and I was like, no, you're not doing that. You're welcome to share our video on your page, on your newspaper page, but
They didn't do it though.
no, they used a picture.
We
I sent them a
let them
picture.
have a picture. Yeah. For their newspaper article. Online thing.
And Paul, the video's called Just the Bears. I think if you're on a computer, I think you can search at the top of our page, like just search through only our videos, and if you search for Just the Bears, you should find it. We have a few different bear videos on there. Our cat, one of our cats was attacked by a bear, and she's now a three-legged cat. That's the one that lives inside all the time.
That's our assumption, that she was attacked by a bear.
Yeah.
Because there was 2 holes. They were very big. The vet said it definitely could not have been a gunshot because there's like no cauterization, no metal fragments, and there was no residue from like if she fell on a stick or something. There was nothing in there. And we were thinking any other large enough animal to make that big of a hole would have finished her off, where a bear might have just like her whole arm was shattered. So they probably bit down on it. That was like the top and the bottom, and then shook her and threw her. And then she somehow made her way home.
Yeah. There's a whole story about that on one of our videos on there.
Yeah, that's Minnow.
The bear cat.
Bud Light? I'm missing some
I'm
things.
actually, it's almost 4 o'clock. It's beer o'clock. Let me grab a couple of beers.
Is it beer o'clock? Cheryl, there's a no-name beer now at the liquor store. I don't know if you
Do they have that down there? Do they have no name?
have you seen no-name beer yet in the liquor store? When I saw that yesterday, I don't know. I don't think I could try that. But I guess if you're drinking Bud Light, then... Oh, hi Mom, you're back. Or still here. Four o'clock there, close enough on a Saturday. It is, yeah, 4 o'clock in 5 minutes, so. Rickard's Red and Guinness, yeah. I like a lot of dark beers, so like Rickard's Red, Guinness. He'll probably be grabbing me, I have 3 different kinds in there right now. So I have 2 different craft beers. Waterloo, I guess they're not exactly craft anymore. What'd you grab me?
Hockley.
Hockley.
Hockley Dark.
Hockley Dark, and then he has a Keese. But we're not going to advertise any longer than that, so we're going to put it in some other cups. Oh, Andrew's leaving. Thank you for coming and checking us out.
Thanks for popping in, buddy.
Ever had Dortmunder? I don't think I've ever heard of Dortmunder. Oh, you're knitting and watching, Mom. Cool. I think it might... Oh, Dave hasn't poured beer in a while.
Mine is okay.
My mom says, you love your cats. Except for at night when they're running around like crazy. Oh, you're allergic to beer.
Who's that?
Paul.
Oh.
Jim used to drink Canadian until they partnered with Coors. Hey! Pete are here.
Ike and Pete.
Hello, family.
There we go.
Dave will have to give you a rundown what's going on. So we've been collecting sap, and Dave made this evaporator out of the genius of his head, and he might tell you more about that.
Yep, I did. I sent a couple pictures of it to Uncle Pete.
Oh, Uncle Pete, he says, Dave says that you already saw some pictures. Run Amok really likes keys, so it's the best.
East Coast.
It's too bad about their previous, what would you call him?
What?
The guy that got caught for being a bad guy that used to represent Keith. He kind of like acted like a leprechaun.
Yeah, I don't know.
What do you call it? Like spokesperson, I guess? The one was
Mascot.
all in all the, yeah, he was in all the
Mascot.
commercials.
Cheers, Ike. Cheers, Uncle Pete. Beautiful day up here.
It's turned into beer o'clock. Oh, Pete says he got them. Cheers, cousins, yeah. The last 6-pack of moosehead we bought, it came with a hat, a toque.
A toque.
A toque.
A moose toque.
A moose toque. Nice green one. Oh, that fell off again?
Yeah.
We almost lost you there. I didn't realize the power wasn't plugged in.
No, we got lots of power.
Oh, perfect.
Just a safeguard. I'll show you the separator, Uncle Pete.
Ah, it's a beauty day over there too. Are you knitting as well, Mike? You should be knitting. I really enjoy looking at all your pictures of Africa. That was really cool. Oh, he's gonna take you on an adventure.
Yeah. Why don't you maybe do this?
Oh, I do like BC apple cider.
Can you do this?
Ontario has good apple ciders too. What am I doing?
Grab the camera
I'm holding it.
so that I can do a few things with it too. Because it's time to do some things. All right. You got to be close, otherwise it's hard to hear me. So Uncle Pete, it's built out of an old filing cabinet. I'm getting really good at this, I think. I've explained this about 10 times now. Old filing cabinet, 5 feet tall, but laying on its back. I took all of the drawers out, and so the firebox in here keeps it good and hot. There's lots of room for burning in there. We're going through wood like mad today. I'll just leave that open for a couple minutes. Up on top here.
Soon you'll be like a tour guide, they say.
These are all stainless steel steaming trays.
Chafing dishes?
Chafing dishes. The first pan is just for warming the sap up. And then the next two, it progresses as you go along, and you just move your sap from the first tray into the back trays. And it's mainly just so you're not pouring cold sap in and having to get things up to boil again. What else? It's raised up on concrete blocks, cinder blocks, just to keep it up off the ground a little bit. And then there's a 5-inch flue at the back.
Ike says you're a bloody genius. Yeah.
I think you're channeling your inner millwright to me, Ike. That's how I was able to build this.
And then we have a filtering station over there.
Yep.
And then we have a finishing station over here, the propane stove. And also it's where we melt the sapsicles. Oh, there's not in there. The sapbergs.
So probably by the end of today, Uncle Pete will have done in the neighborhood of 200 liters through the whole thing. Each pan there holds about 25 liters, or like 5 gallons or so.
And Caddis is keeping watch. Cass, Uncle Peach is on. Say hello. Oh. Let's.
Yeah, show Uncle Pete a bit of the property. I don't think he's really seen much of it.
Okay, we're going to take a little walk. Maybe I should grab a bucket. Is there any empty ones? Gonna go grab some sap. So we're at the house here, and then Dave's washroom right there, and then there's a lean-to on a. Are you wearing Crocs? No, he's wearing. He may as well be wearing Crocs.
Yeah.
I think he's got a soaker already. There's a lean-to hanging onto some sort of like a sea can. That's where we store everything. And then we keep our caddis over here. And we had our chicken coop over there until they decided this world was not good for them. But we're ordering chicken soon. We're looking forward to that. We're gonna get our chicks soon. And then we're going to a fur and feather festival show sale thing to get some, maybe some layers that might be ready to lay. Oh, Uncle Pete was wearing his Crocs today. Yeah, so I'll turn you around now. So this is where all of our maple trees that we've tapped are, but they're everywhere. So that's Lake Superior over there, and then Lake Inferior over there, or where our old outdoor fridge was. But we keep on coming back to these buckets, so there might not be too much in them. I don't even think this one's dripping. No. Probably because it's in the dark. I might fall through here. We have probably 3 feet of snow still in the forest here, but it's packing down, which is great. And this is, you can kind of see there's like a clearing here. That is an old, like part of the laneway to where they used to have a little cabin over there in the clearing. But it was torn down before we got here. But they left some of the stuff there. So what is the temperature? I think it's, I'll have to guess. I haven't seen for a while, but I think it's around +4. Oh, there's a little bit there. Yeah, not much. Oh, Dave's messaging on the laptop. We got a little ephemeral stream here. And trying to think of where the buckets would be that Dave hasn't got to yet. Lots of trout. Not on our property in that stream though, no. Oh, I think this is the one that Dave was saying that he emptied and it's already got about an inch. It is dripping. So I was saying earlier, we didn't put any of these flagging tape up. That was the previous owners. But every once in a while, there'll be flagging tape on a tree that, like that skinny one right there. There's no way you tap that. So maybe a different colors meaning different things, I'm not sure. Yeah, so that's our property. It's about 16 acres. Just short. With just around the house, it's cleared. Oh. I might be getting some sun. Well, I'm definitely getting some sun. I'm gonna show up to work on Monday with a burn. They're gonna think I went away. No problem, Mike. I wish I could be like, and we'll send you back to Dave, but this is the only camera right now. Maybe I will walk you back to Dave. Yeah, so as you can see, we are going to be tapping the birch next, and I'll just give you a nice little example of, there's a birch tree behind me. There is a maple tree that's tapped. So we won't have to do too much work or too much walking to move them over. You'd rather look at me than Dave? Hey Mike, why are you over there and not over here? I think most people would rather look at me than Dave. He's just too beautiful. It's hard to look at him and you just makes yourself feel so like less of a person. Yeah, I think it's time to head back. Caddis, come on. She likes to lead. We keep on going through selfie sticks. I know it's embarrassing, but selfie sticks are so much better than holding onto the camera. When I was holding onto the phone, I would just accidentally turn off the camera. But Dave keeps breaking them. And whenever we go somewhere and we ask for selfie sticks, people look at us like we're crazy. It's like, what? What are these middle-aged people doing with selfie sticks? This one person was like, I don't even know if we have selfie sticks anymore. Do people still do that? Yeah. But much easier. Yeah, I didn't get to too many buckets. I was feeling...
Oh. I guess that's one way to do it.
Yeah.
You ready to go back out then?
Yeah, we can go out. I don't know which buckets he's been to and which one he hasn't, so...
Well, they'll all have sap in them again. But...
I was just hitting all the buckets that I think he probably just hit like 10 minutes ago. He says he might make a run over for a quick visit. What's better, maple or birch syrup? Personally, maple, but I haven't really tried birch syrup that I've made on my own, so I could be wrong. I could be change over.
Show Mike the separator. Mike Daggle just popped in.
Oh, well, he can come see it.
Yeah, that's right.
You don't get to see it until you come.
Yeah.
What's better for whiskey?
Maple. Definitely maple.
Maple.
You know that, Ike.
Don't be silly, Mike.
And Canadian whiskey.
Has to be Canadian whiskey. There's our ATV that came with the house. That was awesome. It's how we plow. Very necessary. And how we haven't, we've plated it, but we haven't insured it yet because we haven't driven it off the property, so we'll have to insure it. And there's a hydro cut. How far up would you say? 200? No, maybe maybe a kilometer? Half a kilometer up that way, that we're going to try to cut a trail. So our land doesn't go that far though, so it would be crown land behind us. But we want to get a trail up to the hydro cut because the hydro cut is where all the electricity, like all the poles, all the electrical wires and stuff go. So they cut into the woods. And so it's a nice big open path that goes for kilometers and kilometers. So if you can get to the hydro cut, you can get to anywhere. So we're gonna try to make a trail up to that, and then we can get to his fishing lines. Yes, the power lines. Thank you, Mike. That's the word I was looking for. We have a funny story that I might have mentioned before, but when we lived in Connecticut, we wanted to rent this little cottage, and I was talking to the guy that was the property manager, and I said, who do you need to call to set up the hydro? And he was just like, what do you mean? And I said, well, like, who do you call to set up electricity? That's what it is. And he's just like, what did you mean by hydro? I'm like, oh, in Ontario, we have so much hydroelectric power, we just call electricity hydro. And he said, oh, well, if you see any water running in those lines, you have to call me right away. So, yeah. So it really only makes sense saying hydro in like Quebec and Ontario, because that's where most of our power comes from. It's the hydroelectric. Are you coming, or?
Where are we going?
I thought we were getting more sap. I was wrong. We're good. We can sit down again.
But we are doing our part to melt the snow.
Oh. Yeah. 1 little inch at a time.
Yep. You got to start somewhere. And Mike will be cooking up some of those venison sausages again tonight, I think. So.
Daggle.
Yeah, Mike Daggle.
You're missing out if you're not here for that.
Yeah, I don't think it's quite the same cost here, Leanna, for ATV
The
insurance.
insurance?
Yeah.
One thing I was thinking is they have this thing now where you can convert your ATV into a snow machine. They have these little triangle-shaped, like, tracks that you can put on instead of your wheels, which I was wondering if that would be probably expensive, but maybe worthwhile instead of getting a snow machine, because then you only have to insure one vehicle.
Ike, if you leave now, I will make sure, even if you're late, you will get some of the venison sausages for dinner. Me and Eli made the sausages.
Yeah, that was great. There's a video on that. I was gonna say if one of our moderator wants to link that, but we don't have that right now.
Leanna's on here,
Oh,
but
Leanna's.
that doesn't matter.
But yeah,
If you feel like doing that, that's fine.
Tragedy of a school bus and a deer turned into delicious sausages for us. So
Roadkill sausages.
yeah, the school bus driver didn't know what to do, but the daughter of the neighbor of Eli, our friend on St. Joseph Island that's pretty close to us, she's like, my dad will deal with it, and he had enough deer, so they did all the stuff that needed to be done and Eli got it. And then we got it. A lot of the meat wasn't usable though, because it was quite a hit on the body, so it was more the legs, the thighs, calves, not calves. I can't speak. I've had a quarter of a beer. So.
Yeah, it's over now.
Yeah. I'm gonna be unintelligible for the rest of the day now.
Yeah, they are expensive, eh, Paul?
What's expensive?
The tracks for your ATV. And yeah, they'll never be legal on the snow machine trails, Mike.
I saw one driving on the snow machine trail.
Doesn't mean it's legal.
Oh, okay.
They rip up the groom trail.
No. Okay, then we're not gonna do that.
Well, it's fine for like out on the lake and stuff, and Mike, I actually I found a sled. I mean, it's late in the year, but one of my buddies up on the Chippewa River there.
If he hasn't sold already, did you really tell him that you wanted it?
He knows it's
okay.
It's a nice one, old Arctic cat cheetah.
Cheetah, not a cheetah.
Perfect little machine for what I need.
Oh, they probably don't know that reference, the cheetah. So there's this drink called Cheetah. It's like an energy drink. And Ben...
Insurance? Oh, sorry. I thought I was writing that.
Uh-oh, he's had a quarter of a beer too. What is his name? Our runner that cheated.
Ben Johnson?
Ben Johnson is the spokesperson for the commercials, and he's like, I think he says, "I'm not a cheetah," and like cheetah, like
Running.
the cat is the name of the drink, but
Dave, insurance is mandatory for.
it's a mandatory.
It's a mandatory thing if you are on trails or anything off your property.
Anything off your property, yeah. Because if you have any damage, you do any damage, or yeah, you need insurance.
Yeah. Which sucks. I mean, insurance is always a ripoff, but what can you do? There's not much you can do about it.
One thing so we do not have lakefront. One thing that would make a really big difference would be there's a property across the road that doesn't look like it's used, and I think it would be great if we could ask for access, because it would take us 2 minutes to get to the lake then,
Yeah.
if we could access that property. But we'll have to make some friends with the people across the road to see, because that would change our winters a lot.
Mm-hmm.
We could be out on the lake, on this Lake Superior in the bay there, in 5 minutes, rather than trailering the snow machine, driving it down to the boat launch, which is just 2 kilometers away, but it's just the matter of trailering it and then unloading it is just it's the biggest difference.
To get to the closest public access for the lake here, you got to go through a couple rock cuts on the highway, and there's just no shoulders or anything that you could in any way get your sled through there.
You can hear the sleds right
Legally.
now.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of sleds coming through.
So
Well,
there's no
once-
trails right near us, but they're far enough. It's just there's nothing here, so sound travels. But I would say 2 kilometers away is the closest trail I've seen.
Yeah, they're probably ripping up the Harmony Road there, most likely.
Wow, I've never heard snow machines so loud here.
Yeah,
Have you
it's-
heard them?
Oh yeah, every day.
Every day? I don't get as much exposure as you do. I'm usually here when it's dark.
Yeah, the insurance isn't bad, Mike. From what I've read.
Mike would
anyways.
know.
Yep,
Mike has.
$25 a month.
Oh, that's not bad.
Sled's even cheaper.
Ah. It's not good. It'd be nice if it wasn't there. but-
Unfortunately, with the snow machine, Mike, I probably won't get it until we can't use it this year. The fella who I'm buying it off, he works for the Coast Guard. He's 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off, and he is
2 weeks on right now.
he's 2 weeks on, and he's in Burlington.
Mm-hmm.
Broussard Homestead, we're all from, well, us and Mike are from Northern Ontario, Sault Ste. Marie area.
What, he's asking about the insurance? Yeah, is it cheaper up here?
Oh, he's asking because there's a lot of daggles down there. Who
Oh,
knows? Maybe you met some.
there's a lot of daggles up here too.
Yeah, a lot of daggles everywhere.
That's a common name. But I've never noticed it until I met Mike, because I didn't ring in my brain. But since I've met Mike, I've seen a lot of daggles. It's like when you buy a vehicle or you're looking for a vehicle, before that you never notice it on the road, but after you own it, you see it everywhere. Or like pregnant woman, things like that. I think there's a name for that, like a term for that.
Better take this. I gotta get wood in there, I think.
Oh, we need more wood. It's a Vacadian descent. Ah,
It's boiling nicely.
Louisiana.
To it. I see color. I see color, Dave. Color.
With an O-U-R.
Someone get the gaff. I see color. Is that a baby wheel?
Uh-oh. Dave, you can't be making fun of the Boston people.
Oh, me and Dave, we like to chirp the Boston folks. That makes me want to watch some of that tuna show now.
Tuner.
The Tuners. And we got family in Boston, so
Yes, color with a U.
surprised Howie Jr. hasn't tuned in. Maybe he's working. I bet he's working today.
That is very interesting to know. That a lot of people from Cajuns are originally from Nova Scotia into Louisiana. No. What's your saying in Louisiana? I was about to say Louisiana nice, but that's Minnesota nice. We have to carry underinsured and uninsured motorists even though it is required, and they get fined for not having it. Cajun is a mispronunciation of Acadian. Very interesting. Wow, this continues to be learning hour, or learning hours. I think I've been going for 2 hours now. Crazy. Yeah, Bobbing Bob says keep that fire hot, hot, hot.
That's right.
Hello, Bobbing Bob. I haven't noticed you in here yet. I haven't been looking at the chat though, so if you've been here for a while, don't be offended. Glad to have you here. Dave's just transferring from the primed sap into the hotter trays. Bye, Mike. Thanks for stopping by.
Mikey?
No. Mike, are you heading over here? Is that why you're leaving? You're gonna warm up some leftovers. We don't have any leftovers. We had ribs last night. They were good. Not the best ribs. They were those like pre kind of parboiled ribs that are already kind of done, and then you finish them off. We just didn't have a lot of time because we had the other live stream yesterday, so. And we still haven't plugged in our stove, our electric stove. So we're still limited to cooking what cooks on the wood stove. I decided to move things around the kitchen, and I moved the stove to a spot that cannot reach the plug. And we haven't moved it around again, so we're still living off grid in that matter. We have lights and electricity, but no, just wood for cooking. But that'll have to stop soon because it's getting too hot to do that. We'll heat the stove up for cooking and open all the windows open. Oh, much worse things in life to smell than syrup. So nice. You can really smell it now because it's getting, as you said, quite condensed. It's getting dark. Yeah, cooking on the wood stove. We like to cook with wood here, obviously. Cooking with wood.
Yeah.
That should be our channel name. Cooking with wood. We can have a recipe channel, and I can put all my dream recipes on it. My recipes I come up with when I'm sleeping. And then we can cook them with wood. Ah, $1 million idea there. Definitely, we'll be making some pancakes tomorrow with some of this maple syrup. I don't know if we'll get down all the way to syrup today. We did start a little later. We had to make a run in town to pick up some stuff. So we didn't get started boiling until right before we started this live stream, so 1:30. But definitely the near future. Wow, you've been preparing and planting gardens? Oh my goodness, there is still 3 feet of snow anywhere, and we have to build from scratch because we're brand new here, and there's no garden beds. So we're going to have to make raised garden beds here. So it'll be a while before we plant. We have our seeds started though. They're in under lights, keeping warm in the closet in the house. Yeah, no garden there either. I know, it's so hard watching all these people down south planting and preparing their garden beds, but it'll be soon enough. I'm enjoying the winter still. Surviving this winter here was great because it really let us know what we need for next winter. For example, snowshoes. We really need to invest in some snowshoes.
We still need snowshoes right now.
Yeah, we still need them here because I'm still falling through the snow, as you saw a couple minutes ago. But we were just waiting for snowshoes to go on sale, and we thought we'd find a better sale, and then they stopped going on sale. But maybe with my earnings from the fishing derby, I don't know if everybody on here would know, but I got the biggest perch in a small little friendly fishing derby, and I won $100. That might buy me, pay for most of a pair of snowshoes.
We should do a time lapse of this video later and watch how red we get.
I know, I think I'm getting really red right now. With Uncle Timmy's syrup. Timmy's making syrup.
Yeah, Uncle Timmy always makes syrup.
I know, but it's a new place.
Rocky Sogine syrup.
Rocky Sogine syrup. Wow, I'm jealous. They're having pancakes tomorrow with breakfast with Uncle Timmy's syrup.
Mm.
Oh yeah, he gave us syrup last year.
Mm-hmm.
That was needed.
Yeah.
So needed. So we did not have maple trees last year. We tapped some Manitoba maples, they're box elders, but it's just not the same. It doesn't taste the same. It's okay if you mix all the trees together, but if you just have box elder or Manitoba maple, it does not taste the same at all. So we were really hurting, and then Dave went down for the boys' fishing trip and came back with Tim's syrup, and he also came back with Eli's syrup. And so we had a lot of syrup. It was great. The mosquitoes are getting bad. I guess I don't miss that. That's good.
No.
It will be pretty bad here. We have probably black flies would be worse here. And then the mosquitoes. Fire ants. Oh my goodness. My phone's buzzing. Oh, my dad just played Words with Friends. Oh, I achieved my goal of 2,500 steps today. Yay. When did you live in Nova Scotia, Mike? I know that you did that, but when did you live there? Is it 10,000 steps? It's all about how you plant your garden in terms of how many garden predators you have. Are you talking about bugs? She says that we have more garden predators here than they do. They have more mosquitoes and stuff, but we have... I don't know about that.
No.
We have more? You would think you would have more because they would have a longer breeding season.
There's not a heck of a lot of deer here. Rabbits will be a thing.
Are you talking about bugs or are you talking about mammals?
Oh, yeah.
Because for us, we will have rabbits.
Yep.
We will...
There might be the odd deer, but
Yeah.
I haven't seen a single deer up, like, between, actually in all of my travels, I have not seen a single deer between here and Thunder Bay. Moose, tons of them, all over the friggin' place.
Yeah.
But
I have a theory though that since we live pretty isolated from other households, there's no farms around here, that we might get less garden bug predators because they are not. There'll be a far distance for them to travel between gardens. So last year at our garden there, we hit pretty bad with like not cabbage beetles. Cabbage worms. And some other like stuff on the cucumbers and stuff like that.
Flea beetles and stuff.
But I have a feeling that since we're so... Oh, low battery, what?
Oh.
Since we're so isolated here, we might have a better luck at not having too many. Are we frozen?
I don't think so.
I think we might have been frozen there. We had low battery. We can have Dave's deer, and then there's crazy turkeys. And I don't know about turkeys up here.
No, they're around.
They're around, but it's not as much as when there's the farmers' fields, like
Southern Ontario is like...
or even just south, the other side of Sault Ste. Marie. There are tons of turkeys. It was frozen, yeah. We were low on batteries. We forgot to plug it back into the computer after my walkabout. My walkabout. Oh, down south they have more bugs.
Yeah,
That would make sense.
Our biggest problem here, as far as critters go, is going to be the wolves and the coyotes and our livestock.
Yeah. We're definitely not going to have free-range chickens anymore. We learned that very quickly.
Yep.
We'll have to have cover on top and sides. They'll have a run that will just, not chicken wire, but what's that called?
It'll just be heavy-duty fencing.
Heavy-duty fencing and wiring and stuff like that. So can't have attack from above because we'll have owls, we'll have eagles, we'll have crows, and then they can't have like martins and weasels and stuff like that going through from below.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not too worried about digging here because it's all rock.
They won't be able to dig, but I mean, like, the wire's gonna be everywhere. We had chicken wire on a chicken coop once, and it was too big, and a weasel got in and it killed all our chickens and tried to bring them out through the chicken wire.
Yeah.
Hawkesbury.
Hawkesbury, Ontario?
Little busy house. The busy little house is right by Hawkesbury.
Oh, Quebec.
Bobcats, yes. We'll get bobcats here too.
Yep, bobcats
And lynx. I think the bobcats aren't typically, like, naturally from this area, but they've moved up into this area. We definitely have lynx though. And that's one thing I'm worried about, like worried about for my cat, because that three-legged cat, because she might be able to get away from some of the canines, but not the cats. They like to hang out under your barn. That's pretty cool.
Oh,
YB Family Farm here is they want to know if that's a filing cabinet evaporator.
it is, Joe.
It is.
It is a filing. Do you want to check it out?
Dave's gonna take you for a walkabout?
Oh, wait, you'll have to come with me.
Oh, it's we just low battery on there, so
But
this is
that's
going to
okay.
be interesting.
Yeah. Let's see here. Welcome, Joe. Thanks for popping in. It is indeed
Bye, Run Amok Farms.
a file cabinet. It's a 5-footer, and I have removed all of the drawers from it. There's the firebox. And I cut the drawers down to size to fit these steam pans into. Each of those holds 25 liters, 5 gallons. And you know all about boiling sap. Joe over there at Youngblood, he's been putting some really cool videos out of his 2019 sap syrup festival stuff. Having fun with it. The flue at the back, Joe, is just a 5-inch flue. Nothing special about it.
Cheryl, I say that on purpose.
And what I did, Joe, was I fired this thing up really, really hot a few times. And just to get all the paint, the original paint that was on it, off.
Mom.
And then painted it with some very high temp, like barbecue type paint, that kind of thing. Did a few really, really hot test runs, and now we are boiling sap. We've gone through about 200 liters today, Joe. And that's where we finish the syrup up. Whoops. So there you go. We're plugged into the laptop right now to charge up.
Is there brick lined?
Nope, no bricks, but the bottom, the racks that hold the wood are held up by, where's the plug for that? Are held up by clay pots, but it is not brick lined, no. I may do that next year, but the way it's working right now, I mean, 200 liters in, how long have we been going? In like 4 hours, 3 hours. We started a little bit before we started the live stream, but
It's been 2.5 hours on the live stream. So yeah, about 3 hours.
I don't know why this got so dark. I can't see it now. Oh well,
Oh,
we'll
this
just
got
go with
so
it.
bright. Yeah, we're gonna be burnt.
I gotta see what Joe's
What happened
saying
here?
there.
Why
You
is
gotta
it?
scroll up. And also underneath the steam trays in there, I have a big chunk of steel, just to a little spacer between the actual flames and the bottom of the steam pans.
I am red already, and I have been red already. Bob thinks we should only have 2 inches of sap in there.
No, because then you got to keep it pretty full. Otherwise, as the sap cooks, it starts to burn to the sides of the pans. You want to keep them as full as you can, really.
It would boil faster though.
It would boil faster, but
Yeah, but we're not paying enough attention for that. If we were just sitting there watching, then maybe. Everyone's making pizza for dinner. We're having sausage for dinner.
Yeah.
Now I want pizza.
well, there is that maple syrup pizza dough and pizza sauce recipe.
Mm-hmm. And we have some leftover raw crust too.
We could throw it in the separator, bake it in there.
Bake it in the separator. Oh my goodness, it's a pizza oven too. Dave, you made us a pizza oven.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we put all the wood at the back.
See you, little house.
Oh my goodness, I am so red right now. I'm gonna unwind a bit.
It's all that vitamin D. Think about how much vitamin D we're soaking in right now.
Going to unwind a bit. Yeah. Hi, Cat. Cass is like, I want to go somewhere. I want to do something.
Oh, congrats on hitting 1,000 subscribers too, Joe. That's pretty cool.
What do you want? You want to sit on my lap? I don't think there's room for that.
Yeah, there's no room for that.
How long are we going to go with this?
Norm says hi.
Oh, hi, Norm. Glad you guys can be watching on such a beauty day. It's hot here.
It is. It's hot on the back from the evaporator.
It's hot in the front from the sun.
Yep. I don't think we should complain though.
There's a breeze every once in a while, which is really nice.
We're getting close to having burned. Oh, I can't turn that.
You get
I had a face cord of wood today in this thing, so.
Yeah. That's a lot of wood.
Mm-hmm. It is. I think I want to put some more in there though.
I see some non-hardwood in there.
Huh?
I see some non-hardwood in that
It was
pile. Oh,
buried in the snow.
do you think we'll get down to syrup tonight, Dave? Or do you think we'll be at the near up stage?
No, I think if we wanted to go till about 9 tonight, we'd easily get this batch done. It really depends if we go out and get more though. I mean, the thing's going and it's hot, so we might as well keep going with it.
Dave's already made 1.5 gallons of syrup.
Nice.
It's a good amount of syrup. I think that would fill up almost all the bottles we have.
No. We got enough for about 4 or 5 gallons.
4 or 5 gallons? And then our snap tops and canning. We won't put the syrup that we keep in anything fancy. We'll just can it with the mason jars. Wow, YB Family Farm has already finished 15 gallons.
Yeah, I bet. I've been watching the videos and he's been hard at it.
We can swim in it soon. Norm waved when I said hi. Well, I saw that, Cheryl. Oh, I'm looking forward to the sweet stuff. It's just a precursor. It just tells us that all the other growing is happening soon. Soon we'll get vegetables. Radishes coming first. Cold crops, beets, lettuce. We have to build some cold frames for our early crops. We start from scratch for everything. So we couldn't bring a lot of things with us that we made, and there's nothing here. Hey Roger, thanks for stopping by. We're just boiling some sap down. Got tiny little babies, Dave. We got sprouted.
Yep, the bagels sprouted. I bet by tomorrow we'll have all the cauliflower and all that stuff will be up.
And the cauliflower tomorrow, Dave thinks. And like cabbage and stuff like that. That would be great.
Close to 400 plants planted.
Dave says he's planted close to 400 seeds. So it's amazing how small of space 400 seeds fits in.
Yeah, when they start.
Yeah, when they start. We have a friend that has quite the enterprise down near Peterborough. Just seeing the amount of seeds that they've planted is it's crazy.
Yeah, someone mentioned they were from near Peterborough.
Yeah.
It's her farm is called Long Lane Farms. They do
Long Lane Farms.
A lot of CSA stuff.
Yeah, so they probably would fill our whole house with one layer of the seeds that they've done.
Stuff, so.
Yeah, they have greenhouses. They only planted, I think they're planting more this year, but they had quite, maybe an acre garden, maybe 2 acres. Peppers, celery, parsley, yeah. Dave, did you start our strawberries?
Nope.
Dave didn't start strawberries. He doesn't think we need strawberries because we have so many wild berries here, but I still want my strawberries.
I'll still plant them. I'm gonna wait until next year, I think, though, because that's something that I'll plant like 500 of again.
Yeah, last year we planted, I think it was 300 strawberries, everbearing, an everbearing variety. They did so well.
It's not something you can just do a couple plants of if you want to.
Yeah, it's not worth it if it's just plants. Your wife just started a bunch of seeds yesterday. Yeah, we just started them, I think, last week. Or this week.
Yep, just a few days ago.
I'm thinking today's Sunday, today's Saturday. They've only been going for 2 or 3 days. Are we gonna grow any blueberries or fruit trees? We bought 1 pear tree and how many? Like 5 apple trees last year. 11?
11 apple, 1 pear. The pear is going to go to Eli's place, though, because we need 2 of them.
You need 2 pears. So we bought about a dozen fruit trees in the fall last year because they were highly discounted from like $50 down to like $10. We did the best we could to, we weren't able to plant them. So we did the best we could to insulate them. And I'm looking over there because they're over there. So hopefully they survive the winter and we'll be able to plant those this year. One of the first things you have to do when you move to your new homestead is plant your fruit trees because they take the longest to grow. Blueberries, there will be wild blueberries around here, so I don't think we'll plant blueberries. We don't know yet if there are any on our property. But yeah, so we definitely have apples. The last 3 houses we've been at has had apples. 3? Am I exaggerating?
Nope. Connecticut, Mildmay, and
Here.
Manitoba.
Manitoba. So we would miss apples if we didn't have them. We make apple cider and apple cider vinegar and apple pie filling and so many good things. Yeah, best time to plant a tree, 10 years ago. Very true. He says plant strawberries at the base. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'll keep my strawberries separate.
He's gonna keep his, he likes to keep his fruit separate.
Yeah.
You're a separatist like that?
I'm a separatist like that. I like to have a very high nutrient regime for my plants.
Leanna says the grafted fruit trees have short lifespan. I have to replace some of ours now that I've been here for about 20 years. Roger wants to know if that's a DIY boiler. It is.
Yep.
Dave made that out of a filing cabinet. So the base here is a filing cabinet turned on its side. He used the drawers to support the trays, and then built this fancy metal around it so it's not ugly. And a vent, and the fire box is in here. He has clay pots and then grates on top, and that's where he puts the wood. And we're burning softwood because it burns hot and quick, and because we don't use that in the house and we have lots of it. And it's going great. He just finished that up like days ago, and well, it's probably not even finished. He probably, like other people, are probably gonna tweak it, but it's doing great. MacGyver evaporator, yep. Bye, Cheryl. Thanks for stopping by. Cheryl wants to try some of the maple walnut ice cream that we're gonna make for my mom and dad.
As soon as she wants to come up and visit with Chris.
Oh, oh, you have to come up and visit with Chris first. Yeah, we have the drawer. It was the dwarf varieties that were left. They produce fruit faster, but as you said, yeah, they might die sooner. But then it means we don't really need to wait 20 years before we get any fruit. But I guess you're right, there's a trade-off. Dave's on a walkabout. I kind of want to get out of the sun too, though. But things plugged in. Dave was thinking about putting some sort of like a bathroom fan attached to the base of the evaporator to pull air through. But I think he, yeah, we'll need an umbrella next. Yeah, you're right. Get out of the sun. Yes, we're in Northern Ontario. We are originally from Eastern Ontario. We're up near Sault Ste. Marie, Wawa area. I'm glad you found our channel. I grew up in Kitchener. We met in Guelph. But yeah, there's like, the shade is literally a foot from me. You can see the line of the shade coming from the house, and it stops like right on my right here. It will be much colder in the shade though. So I'm weighing my options of whether or not I want to have less skin cancer or be freezing cold. It'll be soon though, because the sun's about, supposedly every finger of the distance between the sun and the horizon is 15 minutes. So the sun is about, oh, that's too long. The sun's about an hour. I'd like to test that out. But I read that somewhere, that if you're lost in the woods and you want to know when sunset is, each finger is 15 minutes. Put an 8-foot stack on it instead. Yeah, he could extend that for sure. That would make more draw. Seems to be doing pretty fine without it. This is before he started boiling. So we might make that a longer stack. We found that at the Restore, the secondhand store, for pretty cheap. But if we can find some more, then we'll add to it. Yeah, he needs to go off grid. Yeah, if we're gonna go off grid in the future, we definitely won't want a fan. Oaknock Dave says no fan, just to have a longer pipe.
No.
No, Dave disagrees.
But I agree, no fan. And I've got a few other things to do.
Oh, he's got some. He also agrees with no fan now. He's changed his mind on that. But he has some tricks up his sleeve.
I did put another 3 feet on there. And what I would have to do this year to stabilize it in the wind is just, it's not worth it. But,
Can you hear that?
I got a few other, just with the airflow and stuff, I got a few other tweaks that I can do. Because ideally I do not want a fan because this is going to be up in the bush next year. So.
Off grid.
Yep.
John's back. Yeah, to help your boss on a weekend. That sucks. Yeah.
Burning hot.
Dave Oaknob says he's just currently trying to figure out how to brace his. Yeah, that's what I guess he's trying to avoid.
Having to brace it.
Yeah, having to brace it. Wobbles. I don't know if it's moving around right now. I think
When we get a gust of wind,
it does wobble a bit.
mm-hmm.
But there is definitely a lot of distortion of the air around it from the heat. It might make it look like it's wobbling. But when he went from 3 feet to 5 feet, he said he had a huge difference in draft.
I was getting more pull, that's for sure, but it just...
He says he agrees, more pull, less stability.
Yeah.
More pull, less stability, another trade-off. You're on call. Yeah, when you work for your stepfather, you definitely have to answer when he calls. You'll have to ask him, Leanna. John wants to see the color in the pans. We will bring you over. I think we have enough charge for that right now. I would also like to see the color in the pans. So that's our warming tray, so there's no color. So it's starting to look like syrup. Still pretty clear.
Yeah, we're now down to all 200 liters, John, are in there. So we're getting somewhere, I think. Yeah. So I'd say what's left in there is probably about maybe 50 liters left. Each one holds 25, but they're not quite full. So
Speak louder.
why?
Oh, can they hear you?
Probably. I don't need to yell at them. Do I need to yell at you?
No. Gonna go on a walkabout. He heard you. Okay, they heard you. Okay, this is that shadow line I was talking about. Right beside where I was sitting. This is nice. Can anybody see Lake Superior? Can you see it through the trees? Maybe if I walk over here.
If you extend the stick and hold it up really high, I bet hold it up as high as you can.
David Oaknob says he was boiling 5 gallons an hour away. Like reducing. So this is where we want to, sorry, fingers. This is where we want to build our deck. No, you can't. So we want to build our deck, so we're sitting here. Yeah, just in that clearing there is you can see the lake if you were here. So yeah, we want to build our deck here, so we'll sit here and in the summer we couldn't really see Lake Superior that much, just that corner there we could see. Right now, you kind of see it all the way across. But we'll also have a view of Lake Inferior. And all of our plants and animals will be somewhere between here and here. That's all the clearing that we have that gets the most sun. Those piles of dirt right there, I think, is where our wallapini will be. So that's where our greenhouse will be. Hello, Cody. Cody's Workshop's here. We're just boiling some sap down. If we build the deck to the corner of the hill, it'll be quite the deck then.
We're up to a really good boil now.
Oh, check her out. It would be a very big deck. Deck. This is the longest live stream in Donbaugh history.
I don't know. Some of those snowstorm ones where Dan gets buried, there's one that's 7 hours long.
Is there? Okay, it's not. It is not the longest live stream. It's the longest active live stream.
Yes, that's for sure. The others have just been chatting on
And you're just watching Dan get covered in snow.
the... Yeah.
It does take a long time. Yeah, Ugly Mug. He's done longer live streams than us. I don't think you showed up in this live stream yet, Dave.
No.
That's not good.
He's sleeping.
He's like a cat.
He only comes out at night.
Yeah, he's a cat.
Man, that's hot.
That is so hot. I feel like I'm camping off grid here. This is our filtering where we put the near up in once it's pretty much ready to boil down. Gimp's sleeping, we'll wake him up. Oh, I might be in the shade now.
Halfway there.
Is
You
that-
could move over a little bit.
So shade.
Keep it that there. You're probably gonna get close to using battery power.
Yeah.
Well, you get the shade, I don't. Who is still here? I'm going to steal the shady spot for a minute. Ah. Oh, Cody popped in. How's it going, Cody? Oh, I didn't hear you. You were probably out there.
Yeah, there's no shade over here.
Oh, I'm not even in there anymore. Cody, we've been boiling sap all day. Amanda probably told you that already. Been a good day. I think we're going to wrap up, though. For the time being. Been on here quite a while. So, you want to come over and wrap up here, Amanda?
Okay.
Say bye to all the kind folks that are still chilling out with us.
Well,
Because we have to keep some secrets here. We can't necessarily show all of the, that's weird looking behind us there, eh?
yeah. This looks like it's all white behind us.
Yeah, Cody, it's kind of like watching paint dry.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Not a chance, Dave. When it comes down to the near up, that's why we've got the beer, to keep us hydrated, you know? But, expect an update tomorrow on Facebook or Instagram or something like that, just of how much syrup we ended up with out of this boil.
You cannot sit on my lap.
She wants to see Gamma.
Oh,
Gamma sent you a hug,
no.
okay? Or you want this? You want the sap? You already had a whole pile of syrup out of the snow there.
Ow. Okay, you gotta stop. Okay. So we're stopping?
Yeah, I think.
We're wrapping up?
Yeah, I think we'll wrap up, and we're gonna have to start getting ready for phase 2 pretty soon.
Yeah, she wants to be a laptop too.
Yeah, we definitely will, Dave. It's hard to say with the first run what the ratio is, but we'll be able to do a little comparison. That's for sure. See you, Leanna. We're gonna head out, guys. Thanks for stopping in. And I guess
doing the phone?
we need the we need this thing right here. Pardon my hopefully I don't have anything up in there. How do you stop this? Maybe that?
Yes.
Bye, guys. Smooches, Dave. See you, John. You guys all have a good night.